Hey friends, good morning and welcome to my channel. I am going to take you along with me for a little bit of my weekend. It is right now very, very rainy in our area. The one thing about the Pacific Northwest where I live is rain and spring are synonymous, and we get a large majority of our rain through the spring months. So while the date on the calendar may not say spring, outside the weather definitely feels spring-like in the rainy sense. The area we live in particularly gets about 75 to 100 inches of rain a year. So rainy gray days are the norm. And of course, I've lived here my whole life, so I'm kind of used to it. A lot of people, especially if they're new to the Pacific Northwest, find these rainy gray days that just seem to go on and on very challenging to deal with. I have learned long ago that there's nothing I can do about it. So, find my happy spot and find the things that give me joy and just focus on those things when we are in a long rainy season or a long rainy set of days, which happens to be basically where we're at right now. I'm happy and grateful that the weather has warmed up. Our nights still sometimes will dip down into the 30s, but during the day it is in the mid to upper 40s, 50s. We've even had some days near 60s, so that has been beautiful, wonderful. Today, one of the things that I am doing is just enjoying the quietness of my home and the peacefulness. I tend to look for all the things that I can be grateful for at times like this. Like I said, the gray days and the rainy days here can go on and on and on, like sometimes weeks at a time with very few breaks. Every now and then the sun, of course, does come out, but it is not very often and during these periods. And so it's really nice to, instead of focusing on what it's not, to focus on the blessings and the things that I can find during that period of time. The value of learning how to be content is really priceless. I think that it will bring so much peace and so much joy when you are in difficult situations or endless winters that go on, or you're waiting for something to happen, or it's always easy to find the things in life that are not right. And oftentimes we tend to zero in and focus on that. And then we end up with a whole lot of stress, a lack of peace, and that breeds just a lot of discontentment in our hearts. And I have found that the best way to combat that is take a look at everything that you are grateful for, every blessing that the Lord has provided for you in your life. And sometimes it's just to get us through a season in life. Sometimes it is just situations that we can't do anything about. But I really highly recommend just looking at all the things you can be grateful for. On this particular day, I am working on my laundry, as you can see right now, folding my sheets and things, and just enjoying the process. That's the other part, is learning to enjoy the process of just the basic things in the home. And yes, you've done them a million times, but there is still something to be thankful for in all of that. A home to prepare for your husband or family, and to keep up on and just learn to enjoy it. Now, the other thing that I do is I get all my chores out of the way so I can work on my projects. And lately, my project has been this beautiful afghan, and I am so close to getting done. Didn't quite finish it for this video, but I am so close.
So we're on the right side. So go ahead and turn your work. And now we're going.
I have absolutely loved this pattern, and I am now just starting the border. There are 3 border rows, so we're going to see how long this takes me. I shared this pattern in a couple videos back, and I will share it again. It is from the channel Creative Grandma, I have to say that I love her crochet tutorials. She makes things so easy and so clear. This pattern is a 1-row repeat, so it has gone together pretty quick, and I've really enjoyed doing it in the afternoons and evenings. I had one last laundry load of towels to finish up, so I took a break from my crocheting so that I could get that done. The rest of my evening, late afternoon and evening, I spent pretty much doing the same thing. I crocheted, I listened to some ebooks, and dinner that night was going to be some barbecued ribs that I had purchased from Costco. And so super simple, nothing too crazy. Made a salad to go with that. And that was how I enjoyed my Saturday. When you are enjoying a quiet day at home, what are the kind of things that you like to do? Do you crochet? Do you knit? Do you sew? Do you do crafts? Do you have anything that you just enjoy taking the time to spend working on and enjoying the peacefulness of that? Let me know down in the comments. How do you spend a quiet afternoon at your house? One of the things I really love about this time of year is all the wildlife that starts coming out. We see bits and pieces during the colder months, but during the spring, it seems like they are out and about. We have these deer. We actually have about 4 or 5 that will come and visit. For a while, we were thinking we were seeing the same 2, but then we saw them in different places and realized we must have 4, maybe 5. Wild turkeys. We have a lot of wild turkeys, and they will just all of a sudden appear one day. And that is really fun to watch, too. And, of course, the little creatures. So this afternoon, I am just kind of having a slow Sunday afternoon, and I want to work on my blanket. I have some laundry going. You might hear that in the background. And my goal is to try to finish. I've got the first row of the border. Don't know how much farther I'll get if I'll finish that afghan today or not, but that's kind of what I want to do. Listen to an audiobook and just do some crocheting. It's a cloudy, rainy afternoon today, and that just seems like a fun way to spend my afternoon. I've already made a pot of tea, so that's what my plan is. But first, I'm going to have lunch, and my lunch today is just going to be a simple salad. So I have leftover salad from last night, and I'm going to add a little bit more protein to it and enjoy that, and then move on to my blanket. I bought some of these Grillo's pickles. I've been hearing a lot about them. There's like a viral pickle dip going on around that I might use them to try that dip, just see what I think. But I'm going to take one and chop it up finely and add that to my salad as well. They are delicious tasting, I will say that. They're crisp and fresh tasting. The dill is amazing. They kind of put jarred pickles to shame. I'm glad I gave them a try. I could see how they would be good in a dip if you're a fan of dill pickles. If not, you might not like that then. But I think they'll make a great addition onto my salad. And I have a little bit of grated cheddar cheese in this bag. I'm just going to add a small handful of that to add, again, a little bit more protein. And then I think I'm done. Like I said, I'm going to eat this, and then I'm going to work on that blanket. And I'm going to top this with a little bit of ranch. Yum. Costco sells these, their food, like ribs or salmon that we buy and things like that, in these aluminum containers that have lids. And I tend to save these and reuse them until they, just are too not worth using anymore. But I really like to have these for using. I put my salads in them. I put my chicken in it. and it makes it an easy way to just stack them and store them in the refrigerator. And I get to read something that otherwise would just end up trash. At least I reuse it for as long as I possibly can. I took a break from reading my East of Eden, or listening to East of Eden, because I've had another book on hold for, I don't know, weeks. And then I got an email notification, and then I was busy at that time, so I missed the notification. They only hold the book for 24 hours and they move it on to the next person. So I had to go back and put another hold. And the other day it finally came through. I caught it, raced over to my Libby app and borrowed the book. So that's what I'm listening to currently. It's called Seeing a Large Cat by Elizabeth Peters. If anybody's familiar with the Amelia Peabody series, highly recommended series if you like mysteries. The voice lady that does the voice on this is so good. Very entertaining books, and I think this is number 12. So, I've been working through this series for quite a while now. But anyway, that's what I'm going to listen to. I just lost it. That's what I'm going to listen to. There we go. Right now, while I eat my salad. One of my sons stopped by for a visit, which was so nice, and I ended up taking a break from the crocheting. I was almost out of the ball of yarn, skein of yarn that I had been using. So while I sat and visited with him and my husband, I was able to roll up this whole ball of yarn, which is the way I like to do it. It's easier to crochet from that. And what do you know? By Sunday evening, the sun actually did come out, and we saw some blue sky, which was so lovely. Really enjoyed that a lot. I want to thank you guys for coming along and spending a little bit of time with me this weekend. And I hope that you all have a wonderful, blessed day, week ahead, weekend ahead. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.